Good evening and welcome. Thank you so much for accepting this interview. Today she is with us, Vojislava Neskovic, and as always, Francesca Rubolotta. So, Vojislava Neskovic, she is Chair Gender Equity Committe at the European Society of Anaesthesiology and Intensive Care. She's attending anesthesiologist and professor of anesthesia and intensive care at Military Medical Academy in Belgrade, Serbia. For the most of her working career, she was dedicated to cardiac, thoracic, and vascular anesthesia, and her special professional interest is anesthesia education. She is diplomate of the European Academy of Anesthesiology and Intensive Care. She is the past president of the Serbian Association of Anaesthesiologists and Intensive. Thank you so much. And my first question is, the European Society of Anaesthesiology and Intensive Care recently established its Gender Equity Committe with the aim of fueling activity that improve the gender gap in this profession. What has been done and what goals have you achieved? Thank you.
First of all, thank you very much for inviting me, and I am so happy to be on the list of the interviewed women for this, let's say, YouTube channel. I think, channel. And first of all, it is the Gender Equity Committe from European Society of Anaesthesia and Intensive Care is really recently appointed. It actually 3 years ago. So I have the honor to be the first chair. That's good. How to say? Sounds good, but also for me it was a great challenge. And I was not clear in my mind what is really expected and what should be and our objectives and what will we actually achieve in such a short period of time. And then, unfortunately, we also had one even greatest challenge for us all because COVID pandemic has started just immediately after our first meeting. So most of our activities were actually suspended because everybody was involved very much in taking care of COVID patients, and also some of us got sick, and I had really very difficult times during that first year of pandemic. So altogether, this was, let's say, very challenging time, but I think probably that was even more important that we established this committee, because I always think that in the time of crisis, first of all, women always tend to be the greatest force and that are capable of solving problems, but also women tend to pay the highest prices. So I think it was very good that we had this appointed committee. The reason why European Society actually decided to appoint Gender Equity Committee was in pure observation that we have almost majority, it's tight majority, but still majority of members that are women. But on the other hand, they are very, very underrepresented, and particularly during congresses as speakers. For example, during 2018 and 19, I think, only 6.5% of speakers of Euro anesthesia were women. So it was obvious that women are not represented well enough, and that something has to be done. And there was also a survey that was performed by European Society, where it was clearly concluded that it is not a lack of desire to be a part of leadership. And there are some other reasons why women are underrepresented. And it is very difficult to see why it's much easier to to make the diagnosis, to see that women are underrepresented. The reasons always are stay sort of hidden, but it was obviously important that topic of gender equity should be raised, and this is why committee has been appointed. And we may say that it's difficult to measure, I think, how successful you can be in 3 years of time. But the very good and encouraging results are seen on this Euro Anesthesia Congress in 2022, where nearly 50% of speakers now are women. Well, I am not sure that that's a Gender Equity Committe result, but definitely activity and visibility of chair of scientific committee of European Society of Anaesthesia and Intensive Care, who is a woman, Edith Matot. And let's say that our task will be to give some sustainable result, not just to be happy with 1 year, just to keep on going to make women visible.
So, thank you so much for this reply. I want to ask you, who were some of the people that impacted you, and how lesson you apply to your work now? The people you met.
Well, it's very difficult to say. I can't say that I can remember, let's say, few people that were my role models. I think that during the years there were many people that inspired me and affected my, let's say, my visions and my attitudes and my beliefs. And I always like to go back to my family, to my parents, and I think they were true advocates of gender equity. Because I have a brother, but he was not ever more expected to do in life than myself. So from the side of our parents. So I think that it came from home, that they believed that both of us, my brother and I, should go and try for our goals in life, and not to be discouraged with the obstacles. So I am very grateful for them, because for a very long period of time, I never thought about women of being subjected to bias. I thought that it's just a matter of our let's say, our choices. Then later on, when you become wiser and more experienced, you see that there are many contributors, that does not everything depend on you, and that there is a lot of gender bias around you. So I think you need some time to realize that. At least I had it in my life. But I have to say that in Serbia, majority of workforce in anesthesia and intensive care are women. So I would say that all these women did affect my life, because I always felt them as being very brave and very hardworking, and true heroes in everyday lives, that spared many lives, and helped many people to go through the most difficult times. So I would really like to say that brave women in Serbian anesthesia and intensive care did affect my life, and I admire them very much.
Thank you so much for the brave women. In your opinion, what opportunities can the Iwin platform offer for young women? What they can do in order to achieve their goals? Thank you.
Well, I think that Gender equity is a long-term run. It's not even marathon, it's a ultra trail run. The one that you are supposed to give your all the best endurance and resilience and energy. So I don't think that we will achieve anything in a short term. But for young women, it's very good to see that, first of all, there are wonderful women in Iwin that can be role models and true inspiration. And I think that sounds like a great encouragement. But also there are many resources and that people, that women can be inspired, they can learn a lot, they can find mentorship programs or mentors that may help them achieve some objectives, that some goals that they wish for. Because I think women need more encouragement and support to be involved in research, to be involved in leadership, because women tend to suspect themselves that they are not capable enough. They need some sort of encouragement and mentorship in order to jump in water, cold water, and swim. So I think that we tend to be more sharp towards ourselves, comparing to men who always think that they will find a way out. Women want to be somehow sure that they are capable of being involved in something. So I think that platforms like Iwin may really help in those terms, that some mentors and role models, and also literature and awareness of gender equity and gender bias can be delivered very, very efficiently. But also it can help in networking and building connections between women of the same interest that can find each other and work together and support each other in order to achieve or realize let's say manage to finish their projects. And women are actually very good in working together. I think that that is also one of the opportunities that Iwin platform can offer. But the other thing is that I believe that everybody can be encouraged to become upstander. We very often forget that we are members of the larger society. It's not just intensive care of anesthesia. I think that the broader society has problems with gender equity and women all together that want to change something. So I think that we all should become encouraged to become advocates and upstanders for gender equity.
Thank you so much.
And platforms can help. That can be a source of inspiration and energy.
Wonderful. Francesca, do you want to add something?
Yes, I want to thank very much, and also to add that I attended the meeting in Milan you organized, and I experienced that sharing time with inspiration women like you is energizing, empowers everyone. So we learn from each other. So I find it's very important to have opportunities during the year to meet, to spend time together, to learn from each other, because sometimes I feel discouraged. And then by sharing my experience with you and other leaders, I find the energy to start and to continue. So thank you so much for organizing and for working so hard in the European Society of Anesthesia and Intensive Care. And thank you so much for supporting Iwin. And I hope many women will learn, as I'm learning from you, when we're gonna meet face to face next year. I hope.
Well, I have to add also with years, I think that things do not happen by accident. So it's not accident that we met. And the other thing, when I was choosing in my life, or at least thought that I was choosing what I want to do in my profession, my father always said to me, relax, it's not you that are choosing destiny, destiny chooses you. So I think we were sort of meant to be involved in encouraging women to achieve their professional goals. So I'm very proud of that, and I'm very happy that we met.